Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 5-Minute English Practice. It's Jessica here, and today I want to take you with me on one of the best weekends I've had in years. Last month, I finally took a break from the city and went back to my grandparents' house in the countryside, about a 3-hour drive north of where I live, in a beautiful area full of rolling hills, apple orchards, and old stone farms. It's the kind of place where time slows down and your phone barely gets signal, which was actually perfect. My grandparents are in their late 70s and still live on the same small family farm they've had for over 50 years. It's not a huge commercial farm, just 15 acres with vegetable gardens, chickens, a few cows, bees, and the most amazing orchard. I grew up spending summers there, but as an adult, I hadn't been back in almost 3 years. So this time I told them, I'm not just visiting. I'm here to work like the old days. And oh my gosh, I got exactly what I asked for. I arrived on Friday evening. The moment I stepped out of the car, I could smell fresh hay, wood smoke from the fireplace, and my grandma's apple pie cooling on the windowsill. We had a huge dinner that night. Homemade roasted chicken with rosemary and garlic from the garden, mashed potatoes with real butter, green beans, fresh bread still warm from the oven, and that apple pie with vanilla ice cream made from their own cow's milk. Everything tasted like love. Saturday started at 5:45 a.m. Yes, you heard that right. Grandpa knocked on my door with a cup of strong coffee and said, "Come on, city girl, the cows don't wait." So we started with milking the 3 dairy cows, by hand, the old-fashioned way. It was harder than I remembered. You have to get the rhythm just right, and my hands were sore after the first cow, but by the third one I felt like a real farmer again. The warm milk went straight into clean buckets, and later Grandma turned some of it into fresh butter and ricotta cheese. After milking, we collected eggs from the chicken coop. About 40 beautiful brown and blue eggs from their happy, free-range hens. Then came my favorite part, working in the huge vegetable garden. We harvested potatoes, carrots, beets, kale, Swiss chard, and the last of the summer tomatoes that were still ripening. Everything was so colorful and smelled like earth. Around 9 a.m., we had second breakfast. Fresh eggs scrambled with garden herbs, thick slices of homemade sourdough bread with Grandma's blackberry jam, crispy bacon from the neighbor's pigs, and the creamiest yogurt I've ever had. In the afternoon, I helped Grandpa in the orchard. We picked apples, 4 different kinds: Honey Crisp, Granny Smith, Gala, and some heirloom varieties I've never seen in stores. The trees were so heavy with fruit that we had to use long poles to gently shake them down. Then we pressed some of the apples using their old wooden cider press. The juice was sweet, cloudy, and absolutely perfect. We made about 20 gallons of fresh apple cider that day. I also spent time with the bees. Grandpa is the beekeeper. He taught me how to calmly open the hives, check the honey frames, and we even harvested 2 full frames of golden honey. The smell inside the hive is incredible, like warm wax and flowers. By 4 p.m., my body was tired in the best way. Healthy tired, not screen tired. We all took a break on the porch with iced sun tea and watched the sunset over the hills. Dinner that night was incredible. Slow roasted pork shoulder from last year's pig, potato gratin with fresh cream and cheese, roasted root vegetables with rosemary, homemade sauerkraut, and apple crumble for dessert. Sunday morning was slower. We went to the little local farmer's market where Grandpa sells honey and Grandma sells her jams and pies. Everyone knows everyone. It felt like stepping back in time. Then we spent the afternoon making pasta sauce with all the tomatoes we'd harvested. canning it for winter. I must have peeled and chopped 50 pounds of tomatoes. When I left on Sunday evening, my car was full of fresh eggs, honey, apple cider, canned tomatoes, homemade bread, and so much more. But more importantly, my heart was full. I slept better that night than I had in months. My skin looked better, my mind was clear, and I felt grounded. Like I remembered who I am beyond the city hustle. I think we all need these moments. To touch the earth, to work with our hands, to eat food we grew ourselves. To sit with people who love us without needing anything from us. It wasn't easy. My back hurt. My hands had dirt under the nails for days. But it was exactly what my soul needed. So if you're feeling stuck in the city grind, I highly, highly recommend finding a way to spend even just a weekend on a farm. Help with the animals, get your hands in the soil, eat real food, watch the stars at night without light pollution. It's medicine. Listeners, have you ever had a farm experience? Or do you have grandparents in the countryside? Share your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And it's great English speaking practice. Thanks for joining me on this little trip down memory lane. Until next time, maybe put the phone down and go touch some grass. Literally. See you soon.